6.23 Divide and conquer technique. Already explained to you. In top-down modular approach, we adopt divide and conquer technique. Let us see this technique in detail. Actually, in this technique, we implement 4 steps. First one is analysis. Second one is dissection. Third one is interesting. Fourth one is controlling. Actually, in a divide and conquer technique, we implement in 4 ways, 4 steps. First one is analysis. Second one is dissection. Third one is construction, interesting, and the fourth one is controlling. Actually, with an example of constructing a building, we can understand it very easily. Actually, construction of a building, you know that this is a very massive task. Hundreds of activities are involved in that. Then the first one, you have to analyze that. If you analyze that, you can find that this is the main task. If you analyze that, you can understand what are the subtasks involved in that. That's the first step. Thereafter, then the subtask you dissect it. Second one is dissection. You just understand there are numerous activities. If you list out hundreds of activities are involved in that, but don't confuse with the hundreds of activities. And you classify all the activities in minimum number of groups. But these groups, this is the dissection, should cover all the activities involved in the main task. Now, if you see that, you can find only 3. That is approvals, appointments, and purchases. You see that, just think of, every one of you know what are the activities involved in the construction of a building. Then first analyze that and dissect them. Then you can find only 3 main tasks. All the hundreds of activities can be classified into only 3 groups: approvals, appointments, and purchases. Just think, can you find any activity? If you find any activity in that, it comes under the 3rd group. That is the, now you see here only abstract construction of building. Here some clarity got. All the hundreds of activities you could classify into only 3 groups. That is as a result of dissection you found out. Then thereafter interesting, you know that for performing every job, one specialist is there. One or more specialists are there. Then you appoint people. Corresponding specialists, and enters the jobs. And everybody, how your main task is performed. All the specialists, all the functions make their contribution. By collective contribution of all the functions which are engaged in a project, the project is completed. Okay, that you know. So, interesting. Thereafter, controlling. That means every function, you should appraise the performance of every function, and you have to monitor it, whether it is being executed according to the scheduled time and scheduled cost. Understand? That is the thing. In that way, if it is required, you make a corrective measure, because originally planned to 10 days period to finish a particular subtask. Because of some constraint, then it should be revised. Then 10 days are not enough, and you can extend to 15 days. Because this subtask is not performed, other subtasks depending on that may not be performed. So, simply interesting job is not done. You must schedule it properly, by time wise, cost wise, and all that. But something beyond our imagination may happen subsequently. Then you have to review that and you have to properly revise that. Then that is called controlling. So, in divide and conquer technique, there are four steps. First one is analysis. By analysis, you can understand what are the subtasks involved in that, and thereafter you have to dissect them clearly, like this and all that. After dissecting, you can have perfect clarity, and you appoint people who can take up the subtask, and after interesting the job, you have to monitor them by controlling every job, and everything is performed properly. This is called divide and conquer technique.